just say, no, I'll give you guys the green light. Okay? You guys good? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. We're presenting as Native Deodorants, and for the purpose of this presentation, everybody will be Ali, major stakeholders of Native, and other major stakeholders. Yeah. We go on to the agenda. We'll start with the problem statement today, and we'll give an analysis of the current situation, and explain our key stakeholders, make our recommendation, and do an analysis of the current situation. And following, we'll do a reconsolidation of our recommendation and give our final conclusion. So for the problem statement today, we can see that Ali, as the founder of Native, is unsure of whether he should sell Native at the current situation at this early stage, and he needs to maximize the interests of his stakeholders and everybody in the company. So current situation is that Native is growing at a very fast pace and has already secured a large market share in the market, and he's unsure of whether selling to P&G at the current moment for 100 million is a good decision. So the current stakeholders of this company will be Ali, the early investors of Native, customers of Native, and employees of Native. And going forward, we'll make up our recommendation for the situation.
Hello everyone. So our recommendation will be to sell 90% of the company at $100 million valuation and continue as an independent subsidiary under P&G. Ali will continue to be the CEO of the Native division with while maintaining 10% of his original stake in the company. So before we talk about before you make your decision, we think that it's important that you understand the situation that your company and the industry is currently in. Within the industry, you're surrounded by large key players that have a large market share and are very competitive against you in terms of price and scale. In terms of the threats, your buyers are extremely price sensitive, and they have a wide array of products to choose from. Within that, according to the figures, price is still the #1 concern among consumers when choosing deodorant. However, your company does have some key strengths. You've been able to adopt the direct-to-market approach, while also maintaining high levels of customer service and quality product of using natural ingredients. However, the biggest weakness is that your biggest differentiator, which is your product of natural deodorant, can be easily replicated by other companies and then produced at a lower cost. So we're going to provide you with 3 possible alternatives. The first being to not sell. And continue to grow the company. The second, to sell all of your stake, and the third is to continue as to sell 90% of your stake in the company while maintaining 10% and continuing as CEO. So, the first being to not sell. This obviously has the huge risk of companies adopting your product and selling it at a lower price. However, you do maintain control of your company and continue to deliver quality customer service and all natural deodorant and stay true to your company's values. The second option is to sell to P&G. We understand that you are not happy with the valuation of $100 million, which is why we recommend that you also have your company appraised by outside consultants. Depending on what the appraisal value is, you can negotiate with P&G for the value of your company and sell for either higher. If it is appraised at a lower rate, then you will sell for obviously $100 million. This comes with very few risks, and the benefits are, of course, the financial gain. The third is to sell your majority stake in P&G and continue on as CEO. This comes with the obvious benefit of future cash flows from your working with P&G while maintaining 10%. You also get access to the resources of P&G to grow the company further, and your payout could potentially be larger than $100 million. You also get to stay true to the values of the company and maintain the values, stay true to customer service, and deliver all natural ingredients.
So now onto our decision-making table. We evaluated the 3 alternatives mentioned before against 4 decision-making criteria: growth, profitability, feasibility, and lastly, we chose to go with customer service level because customer feedback is a huge part of Native's business model. So for the first alternative, which was don't sell, we gave it a 3 for growth because the business has been successful and investor funds can be easily accessed. We gave it a 2 for profitability because it could grow a lot by selling to P&G because P&G is a well-established organization. We also think that larger competitors can step into this market and use the formula that Ali has established and produce it for a cheaper price. So it would eat up a lot of Native's market share, hence why we gave it a 2 for profitability again. And then feasibility and customer service level, we gave them both a 5 because Native is already like successfully working, so we think it's going to be very feasible, as well as like the customer service level would be maintained and high. And then for our second alternative, which was to get the appraisal and sell, we gave it a 1 for growth. We gave it a 4 for profitability, a 5 for feasibility, and 1 for customer service level. This is because there won't be any direct ownership anymore after he sells it to, after you, Ali, sell it to P&G. So that's why we ranked growth and customer level as 1. And then lastly, our third alternative was for Native to operate as an independent subsidiary under P&G. So we ranked all 4 of these as 4s. For example, for growth and profitability, we gave them both a 4 because we think that you'll be able to use P&G's resources and infrastructure, as well as produce at a lower cost of production, given that P&G has so many resources. We think that this would be very beneficial, and hence we rank this as 4 for each of them, totaling to 16, which was the highest, and we recommend this. So yeah, that is our final recommendation. Our final recommendation is to sell 90% of stake of the company at 100 million valuation and continue as an independent subsidiary under P&G. You will be assigned to continue being CEO of the Native division of P&G with a 10% stake in the company.
So with this recommendation plan in mind, what does a feasible implementation plan look like for P&G? So within the first month, we propose a discount offer to P&G, and if this is accepted, we deal with due diligence and working through the legalities and negotiating the terms of the deal. Within the first and third month, begin the integration, so integrate your human, physical, and technological capital. And we propose that Native begins expanding into the retail distribution model as a subsidiary under P&G. From the 6-month mark, we propose that Native reinvest and does a heavy push in investment into their retail distribution model and creates a marketing and distribution plan to support this. And at the 12-month mark, we suggest that they do a review with P&G on the success of the acquisition and how it's going so far, and look at re-strategizing or replanning the financials if necessary. We also suggest that at this point, P&G implements an annual customer feedback loop as they have been doing, and continue with this on an annual basis for the next 5 years in order to maintain that direct-to-customer connection. In the subsequent years, in year 2 and 3, we propose considering expansion. So Native can consider expanding their retail distribution networks within North America in the 2nd year, and potentially Europe and parts of Asia in the 3rd year. And in the 4th or 5th year, so much further along the timeline, consider looking into product line expansion, so look at other organic products such as cosmetics. In terms of risks and mitigations, we've thought of 3 key risks. The first is that P&G rejects the offer, perhaps because they want 100% ownership. And in this case, we recommend that you consider other alternatives. Native has strong growth potential, and we suggest that if the company gets appraised, you could put yourself out on the market and sell to a different company. The second risk is that P&G possibly changes the business model, considering that they have a 90% ownership stake. So to mitigate this, we suggest including an operating decision clause in the contract, where P&G, while they have majority stake, they can't make any operational decision or changes without the support of the CEO, who would be you, Ali. We also propose to negotiate being instated as the chairman of the board of directors of the Native subsidiary. The third risk, which is a risk in several measures, M&As, is the risk of an unsuccessful acquisition, and we mitigate this by forming an internal implementation team within Native to work alongside us, the external implementation team, to help with the integration of the 2 companies. So overall, we propose this counter offer to P&G, and if it is accepted, proceed with the implementation plan as follows, because this acquisition have great strategic, financial, and growth potential for you. I will now hand it over to Nandini to wrap up with the key takeaways.
So some final key takeaways that you, Ali, should be aware of. So the problem statement, again, is that you are unsure whether to sell native to P&G or not. The recommendation that we proposed is to sell 90% of your stake for $100 million valuation, operate as an independent subsidiary under P&G, and continue as CEO with a 10% stake. And then the impact.
Thank you. We will now be taking any questions. Yes.
So like, great presentation, first of all. I think one thing that I'm curious about is, so if P&G rejects the counter offer, has your team considered other alternative companies for this partnership?
Yes, so we did not consider specific companies in mind. We do think that the first step would be to get an appraisal done, so we know that you feel like 100 million isn't a fair valuation, and that is just what P&G is offering you. So what our next step would be would to get the appraisal, and with that we would now look at other conglomerates such as Unilever, for example, to and make the offer.
Thank you for the presentation. My question was, you said that one of the weaknesses that native holds and kind of would be like a negative if you take the first alternative, which is not to sell, is that their ingredients are easily like replicable, and thus it might be easier for like a competitor to come in and kind of create a similar product for cheaper. How do you think having that partnership and being acquired by P&G will help kind of mitigate that risk?
Well, I think that the biggest advantage of having P&G as a partner with the company, or acting as a subsidiary under them, is the fact that it has massive growth potential. So it will almost be like the product will be able to reach out to much more customers, and by being the first large-scale deodorant available in the market, it would hopefully mitigate the other companies from getting on board with the same product.
Also adding on, 58% of deodorant customers said that price was like the main thing for them. So according to that, like P&G is obviously like a well-established conglomerate, and they would be able to help Native to mass produce it. So it would be like selling for a lower cost, and that kind of goes in line with the price factor. So yeah, that also helps.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, good presentation. I just have one question. I think as far as my understanding goes, the P&G sort of acquisition would involve them shifting away from the customer-centric model you have right now to a more mass market retail distribution. Have you considered the impacts of that on, let's say, your ability to deliver the same brand values that you have right now?
Yes, I can speak to that. We have. That's why, sorry, if you could go back to our implementation timeline. We do think we should still consider with the DNC model, although like to a small scale in comparison to a retail model. We did mention at the end of the 12-year mark, including that annual customer feedback loop, which is what they've been doing currently, where they send the free deodorants to customers for feedback. So we've included having it on an annual basis, sort of as a way to quality check with the customers and ensure. Yes.
Hi guys, a great presentation. I'm kind of curious if you guys thought about selling like less than 50% of your company so you can maintain control over your company, rather than just selling like 90% of it.
In that case, because P&G is looking forward to acquire our whole company, so we don't believe that they are going to be content to maintain below 50% ownership, because they are trying to make us part of their conglomerate, right? So if they do not get control of the company, it doesn't really make sense for them to make the move. So in that case, we don't necessarily need to sell 90% of our stake. We can still keep like 40-30% depending on the offer that they are willing to accept. But in most cases, we are assuming that they will not be happy to take a deal for less than controlling ownership.
Yes.
Great presentation. I was just worried about the likelihood of P&G actually accepting the deal, given that